All right, we're about to watch Zain Hbox with Phil. Phil's always kind of hyped, so I gotta come correct. Pause whenever you want to talk about something. Let's just go for it,
well,
brother.
I mean, let's go. That's right.
Yeah. Look at him talking. Hbox already getting in his head.
Okay, he's focused. Okay, also, can we talk about the Hbox effect? I think the Popoff hit it. They hit it in person.
They were talking about it. Kadoran was talking about it. Zain was saying that Hbox, like, when he popped off, it was, like, kind of freaking him out. Like, the IRL Hbox meta hitting different.
Yeah, no, when you're in your room, those pop-offs don't feel like anything, but in the presence of Hbox.
There's even the enclosed space, it reverberates off the walls.
Yep. They feel it. They feel the pressure.
All right, here we go. Fountain first game. I think this is pretty standard.
So, because I kind of want to get the Marth perspective. So you're starting out at Puff's at 0. What are you on? Like, what do you
really don't want to hit. You don't want to. Something as Marth you don't want is you don't want to. So you notice Zain is mostly like staying in place and only kind of going forward really slowly with a really late aerial. So a lot of the reason he's doing that is because if he hit like a mid fair and not a super low one on Hbox at 0, Hbox is just gonna, he can crouch grab that. He can get a shield out minimum. He can do a lot of stuff from there. So Zain wants to either like super space and super delay a fair, or get a down tilt, or get a grab, or hit Hbox out of the air.
Yeah. And then this is like, I feel like this is the common. What is it? Did you just get the basic? I tried to grab and you.
Well, actually, the spot dodge thing is kind of new from Hbox.
Spot dodge. Yeah, he spot dodged. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's very new for Hbox. He used to not do that at all. He started doing that at Genesis last year.
One second, I'm having some stream issues. I guess it's lagging.
Oh no. All right, well, do what you got to do.
Okay, I think we're okay again.
Okay, yeah. If you stalled for much longer, I was gonna have to start shilling Patreon, and no one wants that. So
yeah. But if you have to do your Patreon, I didn't even know you had. Do you have a Patreon?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I've got one. I do some coaching and some analysis work for people. Yes, sir. So technically, this is what we're doing here is a little bit of a plug. I have some services.
No, do tell me more. I don't want to. I didn't know you had a Patreon. What's the price? What are the ranges?
Dear. What can I unlock? Sir, we've already lost so much time. I couldn't possibly go over. I couldn't possibly.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, cool.
All right, there we are. So anything you want to talk about, let me know.
Okay, let's do it. Close out the stock. Is it just up tilt? What are we thinking?
So,
no, don't grab.
that was almost another rest right there. So I mean, yeah, at this percent, it's hard to get a grab and kill. I think you can back throw up air, maybe still this percent. You saw Zain go for the side B and it traded, which is not what he wants. He wants the side B up tilt. So now he has to like edge guard or juggle Hbox, and those are kind of hard things to do to Puff. At this point, though, because you can see, again, he's doing the side B, he really wants to catch Hbox jumping. And Hbox kind of wanted to jump because he knew if he got pushed off the stage, he would get, he wouldn't just grab the edge. Like, he would just be actionable, so he'd get punished. So that's why he jumped, and Zain just went for the forward smash.
Okay.
But if Hbox just kept shielding, Zain was in trouble. He's going to get back aired and then maybe more.
Yeah.
Pretty risky.
All right, good. We're good now. Cool. Ooh, okay. Hungrybox likes to start so much of his offense. That's just, he likes to start on side. He just really loves this side platform. That's like his thing.
Why do you think he likes the platform so much?
I just think it's because he likes to dip in and out of the space. It lets him kind of just like do a back air and just kind of like retreat if he needs to. He just like, but he does that. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't in this matchup. I don't think it's as strong. I understand it in the Fox matchup, maybe Spaceys, but I don't know against Marth as much. But I guess it kind of lets him take space, just from like, it lets him just like, he gets to take so much space just coming off a platform with a bear. So yeah. I get why he likes, and then he can shield too. But what do you think?
Yeah, so let me ask you this: what other move does Puff have that really challenges Marth range?
Pound, I guess. Pound,
I guess, but I mean, you can't really use that reliably, so that's why he's got to rely on back air. So that's the first part of what you were asking. But as for why the platform, I think it's a fair question, right? Because you're up at that angle. If Marth hits you with forward air, that's much easier to hit than when you're on the ground, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like. Yeah, I don't like it. No, keep going, keep going.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fair. But you were kind of saying if Puff is on the ground, she can only hit a certain distance with her back air, right? Like it could be rising, it could be falling, but there's a certain range, right? But from platform, it could be extended, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what he's going for, is to basically extend the threat. There's actually an additional benefit too. He doesn't have to go through jump squat, and Puff has a decent amount of jump squat. So now he just has to fall through the platform or shield drop through it, and then he can back air. And so because Puff's drift is crazy, he can actually threaten Zain where Zain is at right now on the screen. But he couldn't do that so easily if he was on the ground. Much more telegraphed.
Yeah, it's easier to Puff so on the ground. If he could, it's harder for It's harder for Zain to pull back. You know? So he does get to control a lot more space. And Bear is good. I guess I'm thinking about how disjointed and how good Marth's moves are, but still, like, Puff Bear is still good, and he can still take up a lot of space. So I guess I still get the idea why he would still look for the platform.
Even if you know Puff's gonna Bear, it's kind of really hard to beat it with Marth's forward air, because you have to you have to swing earlier than Puff does. It's tough to beat it out directly.
Though it looks like Marth is a lot better challenging Puff in that space, whereas I think the Fox players a lot of times struggle with Hungrybox on the side platform.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Big ooh moment.
Just, oh, got him. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just one bear. Yeah.
That's big. That's big at low percent for Puff.
Yeah. Oh, the spot dodge.
Spot dodge rest again.
The meta is evolved. Yeah, I think he's off the crouch. He's grabbed him enough.
Yeah, Zane's gotten one grab and he's missed 3. If you're keeping track there.
Keep track. That's not it.
And when he got the grab, he missed the pivot. So again, there's our side B up tilt that he was looking for before. HBox was either holding down or shielding that. Didn't have either of those come out that time. You can hold down on the first hit of side B for like a long time.
What do you think about choosing to go to the ledge on your invincibility? Just because I don't think Marth's particularly strong there. Do you think that's like, I get that he's invincible, but do you like that positioning? How do you feel about that?
So I think it's different on different stages and against different characters. I think if you're playing against Fox, like I understand it more because that character gets so many tries to hit you with invincibility. You're just like, well, I might as well just go to the edge. I'm probably getting shined here anyway. But against Puff, it can be a little different. However, on Fountain of Dreams, it's the most condensed stage in the game. So Puff might just push you to the corner, potentially shield poke you, and you're in a worse spot. So he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go to the edge. Now, if you potentially, like if you cross up Puff, you're in a better spot, but maybe Puff doesn't allow that. Like, there's a lot of things. So, but let's talk about the position itself. If Marth's on the edge, he gets to wait out Puff's invincibility pretty freely. I mean, that. There's not really an arguing on that. Yeah. But it's really hard to get back on the stage against Puff because Puff's not going to do things like Mango was doing those F smashes when Zain was on the edge in their final set, right? Like, you're not going to see Puff doing that. You're not going to see Puff's going to sit there and use the back butt kick. That's what she's going to do.
The back, I like that. That should be the name. That should be the name in the guide.
Nintendo, where you at?
The back butt kick. That's good.
So she's going to keep that out, and it's going to be hard for you to get back. You're going to have to come up and shield that. And so I feel like it's kind of tough, but what you see Zain, and so there's a unique option you can pick in this matchup, which Zain actually uses that you couldn't do in a lot of other matchups, because normally you have like edge dash versus no impact land, versus like get on and go full send to forward air, and those options are okay, but because he doesn't get a lot of invincibility because his double jump just isn't that fast. It's kind of a tough spot for him, and especially because Puff's going to wall him out super well. Both characters can blow each other up in the corner. Marth on Puff a little less so, just because Puff can jump off the stage and jump to the edge. It's not as bad, but it's still tough for her to get back, to gain stage back from him.
Yeah. So I guess I guess if you're talking about invincibility, getting hit, because like it put him in such a bad position, he still got hit, but he only got hit once. So I guess if you're thinking about what invincibility could be, this isn't the worst situation.
Yeah, if he gets to the top platform here, he gets out, but he doesn't quite get there. But he still resets.
It wasn't that bad. The positioning wasn't that strong. So Hungrybox still gets the hit because the positioning's so bad. But given what could happen, I guess it wasn't. Oh.
And yeah, Zain really wants that up B.
Yeah.
Any down air's a little bit early. That's actually kind of hard to hit Puff out of her air dodge. She has good frames and she contorts all weird and then she drifts real fast.
Yeah, taking up a lot of space. Yeah, though. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. The platforms are still very strong in this matchup.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see Zain standing super far away. Yeah. Doesn't want to deal with it.
And he's like weaving and like he did a good job of weaving. I mean, he just weaved all the way to the other side.
Yeah. Zane's not afraid to like run all the way to the other side of the stage. Like he does that against Fox. You'll see him like dash, wave dash, dash all the way across the stage just because like, oh, well, I don't want this Fox to overshoot 400 years and get me, so I'll just keep going. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he'll do that against Puff too. There's our side B because the percent's too high. And you notice HBox, this is something that I think a lot of people don't talk about. HBox is on the ground now.
Yeah.
116%. Now, again, the platform's gone over there. Now it's back. But he could have been on the left platform. But he chose to come down because the percent, Zain no longer gets the pivot tipper.
Yeah.
So you can see the percent game just being so massive versus Puff.
Yeah. Good on Hungrybox.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so takes game one. I do remember he takes game one. That's the only thing. And then I think it went downhill from here, but I don't. I think it goes downhill. Hungrybox always does surprisingly well here. I think this is don't think this is his best stage, but he does good here. I think overall. Oh, fair. We haven't seen that really.
Yeah, you can see there's a lot more grounded play.
Way dash.
We're really, because again, you get hit by down tilt, it's one thing. You get forward air out of the air, you're probably gonna get hit at least one more time. He's just going. Look at him go. Because again, HBox, if you look at what Zane's doing there, is Zain committing very hard. I mean, he finally goes for that down tilt, but before that, it's just like slight commit, dash back.
Yeah.
So HBox is like, well, let me just vibe.
Yeah, he said, I don't see any good opportunities here. Oh, again, opportunity? I missed it. Yeah.
Dash grab. Everyone's been talking about the hitbox behind Marth and a lot of other characters on dash grab. Man, HBox he just gets so frustrated now. It's weird.
You think that's a change?
Yeah, I think that's different. I think that's from online. I don't think he used to get. I mean, if he got frustrated, he'd just be like, "All right, you know what? I'm just gonna play more patient."
Yeah.
That's what he used to do. Yeah, but now he's just like, "I'm gonna random forward smash and rest." It's like, okay, probably not as effective, but you can do it.
Also, he does not edge. One thing in this matchup that I really notice is I guess two things for me why Zain is so effective against Hungryboxes. One, his percent matters a lot because before Marth had trouble closing out Hungrybox's stocks, but with like the pivot tippers, his percent just means a lot more. When he gets Hungrybox 60%, it's a lot more dangerous. And also, he doesn't edge guard Zain well at all. And I'm not really sure why a lot of the other Marths struggle to get back to the stage, but Zain seems to get back a lot.
So you'll notice. If you wouldn't, let's see, where was it in the fountain game? I think it was. I know they were on the left side.
You remember the stock count?
I know it was the second half of the match, but I don't remember the exactness of it. But HBox is off stage and he does this thing where he lets go and he fares and he double jumps.
Yes, I remember it too. Yeah.
And Zain up B's and hits HBox.
Yeah.
And so Zain has to up B a little bit early to hit him there, but he can react to HBox's double jump and hit him. So HBox, remembering that, just went for a roll up here and slightly delayed it to see if he could catch Zain at the same timing, but Zain still had hang time. So there is something that HBox will do sometimes that edge guards, but it's better when Zain doesn't have a double jump, and that is he lets go and he falls with forward air because it's just going to stay out. But sometimes Zain can tech it, sometimes like Zain could double jump like away from it and then up B back to the stage and then potentially even hit HBox. And so it's not like, I think HBox could be doing more and bringing that like falling forward air in more, but I also think that especially like unless you hit with the very end of the forward air where you can then hit Zain again. Like Zain could be actionable first and just make it back. So then like now he's edge guarding you and you have to use some jumps to get back. So you could even get reversaled. And he's at 19, right? So if HBox is down there, like he can't even tech if Zain down airs him.
Yeah, exactly.
So these are things that he's probably considering and why he might not be going down right there. But I still think that Zain was kind of far out here. And so HBox probably could consider going down there a little bit more. And I do think that's something that is a little bit different for him. But I also think that Zain just, is sniffing out HBox's stuff better. But there's also like something HBox could be doing, because I think Zain mostly does just fall down and wait a lot, is HBox probably could do like Sing regrabs, like because you just snap to the edge faster.
Yeah.
So there are things that HBox could be doing here that he doesn't really do. Like I know 2Saint does a little bit of run off the stage into the Sing to grab the edge. And like HBox could even do something like that where he could guard the stage, and then when he sees Zane's gonna drop, he can then do run off Sing. Like there are probably things that he could do there. I don't know all of the Puff things there, but I think there are things that are worth exploring, and those would be some ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, you see how low Zain went, and then he saved the double jump. Like you could react to like, there's a certain spot where Marth has to sweet spot, right? Then you could make a decision.
Oh
boy.
Is that this patience thing you were talking about? I don't know what that was.
I'm just memeing about the
lack
rollout.
of the lack of patience. No, him just rolling out. I'm like,
Sometimes he just does it. I'm not really. He's always kind of just like done it, and I'm just like, dude. But yeah, so we're at the percent where the down air can start comboing into grab, so that can be good. Then it can start leading into up smash later.
First is fair.
I think forward
feels like the delayed fair feels a lot stronger without the platforms.
Zane's?
Zane's delayed fair feels a lot stronger without the platforms.
Right, because HBox can't retreat away from it as easily. Like it covers so much. Like if he's on the ground, even if he full hops, he's still threatened by forward air. But if he's on a platform, he can see Zain coming and jump away earlier. But it's also the case that he has another place to go when he's jumping, right? Like if he does these jumps, he can go into Zain, a little bit in front of Zain, or away. But he also has the option to platform on platform stages, which he doesn't have here. So there's effectively just way less stuff for HBox to trip Zain up with here. And that actually could have been a rest.
Yeah, fumbled there.
And he just like jumped away. He might have tried a wave dash.
Ooh, okay.
So we saw a spot dodge into roll right there. A little bit of a remix on the spot dodges that he was doing before.
Yeah. Hungrybox looks like he's really struggling with the offense as he does a rest.
Yeah, again, you saw roll rest there. So he did spot dodge roll, got punished, and then he went for just a roll rest. So again, it's kind of like what I was talking about before, where he's just kind of going for it. And now he's getting reddited.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I do not. This happens to him a lot. It's just it's so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, as Puff, every single percent matters so much.
Yeah.
Like now he's at 85, he can get pivot tippered, and he went for a back air there, which doesn't stay out as long as the forward air. Zain's just pivot jabbing again. He's like, man, dude, Reddit, man, I'm here for it. Give me my karma, bro. Hello, roll up. And then he gets it, right? Look at HBox smiling.
That's why he does it.
That's exactly why.
To stop. Okay.
So again, you can see, I mean, I think that stage, I think it affects HBox like mentally more when he's just like, man, I just can't freaking go to that platform. I think it bothers him more right now. And I think as he goes to more land stuff, that might change. But you can see like there are just some times where he was just pretty frustrated. But now look at him. He's back home.
He's back home.
We have M2K in the ledge and HBox in the platform.
Yep. He's back. Yeah, he's fully back. He's back home,
Yeah, he's like, I miss the kids.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely, yo. Okay.
You can see Zain calling that out a little bit because HBox.
That's not the worst situation though, because it's like he got so he hits him, but then he kind of overextends, and now Hungrybox has him in the corner. So that's not the worst.
No, that's not bad. I think Zain could get a follow up, but it'd take a little bit of a read. So
yeah. Oh,
and
this
there's
is why you love Dreamland. This is
yeah.
This is why you go here. It's fine.
But so now the pivot tipper is going to be hard.
Yeah.
So
I don't know the exact range. What is the exact?
I think maybe at 93 you could get something if you call it really well, but I think a good rule of thumb is like once we're at 100, yeah, you can forget about it.
Okay.
That's the rule I generally go with. But yeah, probably like 95, you can probably it's pretty much gone. I think when you're looking at like mid 50s through like maybe 85, 90ish, I think is usually the range where you're looking for it as Marth.
Yeah.
And HBox got hit there because Puff extends when she double jumps, and then actually the Zain regrab would have helped him there too.
Sounds good. Hungrybox, you hear that?
Yeah, I'm sure. He's like, oh man, he's finally about time.
That's I've been waiting. I was waiting for them to do the breakdown. I didn't know what to do here. Oh, I'm so stressed.
Yeah, I'm sure he's losing so much sleep with his his car sponsorships and the hot lines and everything.
Yeah. 100%. He's taking so much damage. That was way too fast.
And so, I mean, go back to that edge guard. I actually think there's something that Zain did that because we talked a lot about HBox. Look, Zain actually jumps, and HBox air dodges. And so this is something that you really like as Marth right here. And so, look, Zain jumps, HBox air dodges, jumps right there, air dodges. And so Zain covers HBox going to ledge, but HBox is worried about down air. And Zain jabs to keep HBox low, then forward smashes in case HBox does some SDI away or just wants to take more damage. So you can see Zain not being so worried about trying to get a pivot tipper kill there. Gonna go for a juggle kill, and HBox on the side platform, he's gonna be higher up, so that's gonna make the kill a little bit earlier too.
Usually I'm used to seeing Zain get a lot of pivot tippers, but right now it seems like he's been pretty content with getting his kills just at 120, 130 with just like an up tilt or just like repeated aerials. He doesn't seem too pressed to find them.
Yeah, and I mean, I think HBox, after Zain did that first one, and he was like, well, I didn't get the kill anyway, so like, why am I, potentially giving up other neutral wins just to go for this? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Like now you can see Zain is opting to do a lot of down airs, and the good thing about down air is what combos end when Puff goes high. But if Puff stays on the ground and you tech chaser, then the combo. So you see down air into the ground. There's potential for more. Yeah, HBox could have slid off there and all that, but there's potential for more. Like Zain could have done more stuff to continue even off a slide off. So.
I noticed that too when you do Falco combos. When you did your Falco combos on Puff, a lot of it, what I noticed is there was not a lot of shine. There was always like you would down air. Like you would just like keep comboing without shine, and like kind of like I guess the same ideology.
Yeah,
like,
same idea. It's harder with Marth because he has more lag.
Yeah, exactly.
But that is the idea. So you can see Zain doing that here, and then we're just gonna take a nice little spin, take Marth for a little bit of the ride onto the forward tilt.
That should be a kill. Yeah, force on stage. Yeah,
it's supposed to be a forward smash, but yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter. We got him. And that wasn't tipper. I don't know if it would have killed anyway, but it could have.
I don't like that. Oh, got you for the. Okay.
So I want you to look. So that wasn't you saw that was kind of HBox's advantage there. I want you to see what he did to get that.
It was an interesting stock too. Just like I don't think we've seen forward facing wave dash.
Right.
Play like wave dash forward. Just like
he actually brings that out in a lot of matchups, but he doesn't do it a lot. When he does it, it tends to work pretty well for him.
It's still able to hold down, so the forward B is.
I know you can hold down on it forever.
Yeah. Forward throw.
We got a forward throw. Zain still thinks he's gonna jump, so punishes it again. And then HBox spot dodges, so it's probably supposed to be a wave dash, because obviously there's no need to spot dodge there.
Yeah, and I think, in my opinion, a little bit of an overextension.
Sure.
It's I don't think he needed to.
He might have thought Zain was gonna up B regrab.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
And so if you're gonna shield that, then maybe you could pressure afterward. Maybe that's what he wanted.
But what were you saying? When you said, "What if I would see something?" Was that the thing you were looking for?
That's what. Yeah, the wave dasher. So you were talking about. Yeah, he's on the ground. He's facing forward, and it's unusual. And because HBox just goes for a complete switch up, he's not on the platform waiting. He's coming towards you slowly. You have to make sure that you're seeing that and adjusting to it. And it can be. And you've been playing like this one way for 3 games, and so suddenly he's just doing something really different. And you're just like, well, that's weird. Well, surely he's going to jump now. I'm going to come towards him, but he just doesn't. So,
yeah, no, sorry. I don't like these rolls. I'm just not a fan of them. I don't know. I haven't been very effective either.
Yeah. Well, why do you think what do you think Zane's doing to pressure out some of these rolls?
I think he's just having trouble getting interactions, so he's just trying to find a way to close that distance. Also, he can hold down after.
Yeah.
Or crouch. Oh.
And that did work for him a little bit earlier, but
yeah.
But I'm curious, what do you think Zane's doing that's making HBox want to roll? And I don't just mean like, I mean, obviously HBox is getting outplayed in a lot of scenarios, and HBox has his own frustrations.
That's easy.
But I think there are specific things that Zane's doing that are making HBox want to do these rolls.
Mm-hmm. I just think he looks like he's struggling to start. I think a lot of the dash combined with the delayed fair timings and the way he's putting out his aerials, he's just not having an easy time starting any meaningful interactions, right? He's able to find chip hits here and there, but nothing to really get anything started. And I think he just feels a little, like you said, a little impatient, a little flustered.
Well, yeah, and so he's also not hitting the edge guard, so even if he does get a hit, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So here's our opportunity off stage. Okay, there's the forward air I was talking about, but you can actually see Zain went a little bit high, so he was a little bit higher up. So that's going to work a little better for HBox there. Yeah, it's kind of same as the, I think that was the same as the, either the previous stock or the one before that kill.
Yeah. Wait, is there something from Hungrybox that you would like to see?
I think when so something that HBox is doing when he's landing is like on the ground floor is often like rolling in a lot because he doesn't want to get grabbed. And I think there are things like, wave dash back mixed with like dash attack that would serve him more against Zain, because Zain is not going for the grab as much when HBox is on the ground, which is part of what's making him roll. And then HBox can actually get under some of Zane's aerials, like when Zane's setting up his nair, or even like he's jumping early before he gets his forward air out, HBox could dash attack that. And, Marth's going to try and hold down the fastfall, so you could actually get a decent position out of that. Possibly an edge guard, or at least you have Marth on the edge, and you can, take stuff from there. So, and then I think what happens then, right, is maybe Marth wants to, like, if you imagine you hit Marth with, like, you land from, like, an auto-cancel nair and a dash attack, now Marth, maybe Marth waits, right, and he's like, oh, well, I'm going to land, and now when I see Puff land, I'm going to dash back, right? So now, imagine this, right? HBox is on the platform. He comes down with like a back air, and instead of doing a dash attack and Zain just dashes really far away, HBox instead like comes farther forward with a back air, or he just takes more stage into middle, or he starts doing that wave dash thing where he moves in like either forward, facing forward, or backward, right? Now he's taking stage from Zain because he's expanded like, the mix-up pool. And because you're mixing that with wave dash back, it'd be harder for Marth to call that out. And Zain is still calling out, a lot of the stuff, and he still is finding ways to get some of the grabs. But I mean, he's not going for it all the time. And HBox, I think, being really mindful of that at those tough percents and playing a few different mix-ups there, I think will help him more. Like he added in the spot dodge, and I think that works okay for him. But like you said, the rolls really haven't helped him very much. I think he almost got that roll rest on FD. But I think after that, Zain was kind of prepared for it. So HBox had to kind of like see that Zain wasn't always just like rushing him down when he landed and take that information. Going back, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. This is probably his best stage in the matchup, so this makes sense.
Yeah, he's comfortable here.
Coming down without the aerial. He just came down. Trying to go in jumping.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about just a second ago. Is like, let's make Zain he respects the threat of the move. Let's just don't do the move so we have less lag. And you can see it was a decent idea. There's some interesting conditioning that can happen at the start of matches that's like can be independent from everything else. Some people just want to do what they want to do at the beginning of a match.
I actually kind of like how I kind of liked it. It's kind of like he was a little more grounded.
I mean, he's been more aggressive this game too.
Yeah.
So again, he's changing his pacing, but back home. So again, you can see, but he's changing. But you see, he's changing it, right? And I think you can see that should have been a free hit on Zain right there. So you can see it's working for him, and then Wispy I think got involved with that.
Yeah, gotta.
But you can see changing the pacing.
Yeah,
changing the pacing.
Yeah, no.
And I think that's so important, just for players generally. The more you change it, the harder it is to deal with. Because I think that's kind of what we were talking about, where the game just felt so much more HBox's favor when he was doing the wave dashes, and then he started playing more to center, and then he started going away. Then he was like, oh wait, no, I'm just coming back in. And I think all that stuff. Look, and there we go. Played another little mix up there, and so. I think some people watching this will be kind of frustrated because they're like, I have a lot of Marth players that watch me, and they'll be like, well, what about Zain? And I think like so many people, if you want to beat Puff, you got to know why Puff's doing what they're doing and what makes Puff good. So I don't think this is a waste, Marth players.
Oh yeah.
There's our dash attack. We took a little stage.
Dash. Okay. Oh no, edge guard though. That one, I feel like
that one
for the position. I feel like that's almost
because he doesn't have a jump, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have a double jump. Yeah, I don't know.
So fading back with the forward air. If Zain even if Zain up B's right there, like it could still just hit HBox. So
could he have just re-grabbed? Can he just? Because he was so low.
Yeah,
he had already used his double jump, right?
Yeah, I think he could have just re-grabbed, but I think Zain might have jumped because he saw HBox jump. And so I think HBox probably could have just gone back to edge, but he was probably like, well, maybe Zain gets on stage. But I don't think going out as Puff is bad here because maybe it's not a setup you're used to being on, so you're not sure. So I think it's fine to hit him, but I don't think it's super hard to do it either. You might have to trade. You'd probably need like do bear instead of forward air. But I think HBox is just kind of banking on like Zain, just kind of panicking, going for the up B instead of that well-timed side B.
That's the second time he's gotten that, right? He ended the last game on that one, right?
It was different because HBox was shielding on the platform as opposed to like coming down and Zain punishing the landing. So you can see he went for a jump.
Shield poke,
and HBox was trying to shield drop. And so you can actually pressure a lot of people if they're angling for shield drop like that. Look how much Puff leg exposed.
Yeah, you're right. The whole side.
Yep. So he goes for an aerial, and of course HBox doesn't really want to take the percent because he could die from an aerial soon, especially after getting juggled. And here's our up tilt. And you have to remember HBox's shield is shrinking that whole time from the jump too, making that poke more likely.
Okay. Got a lead though.
Yep.
Ooh, I like the way he uses invincibility there. That was good. Again, just like using his jump to like threaten that space and then just grab, attempting a grab. Oh, that was decent DI. Okay, Hungrybox, that was good DI. You DI'd that well.
Yeah, let's go, HBox.
I feel like that was the first. I feel like he always gets chain grabbed. That was good. He teched away, and then this time he got it again. Let's go.
He got 2 techs. Woo!
Yeah. Okay.
Yay!
Usually, last time he took like 30 damage, got fair 5 times, and let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, we take those.
Okay. Yeah.
Clutch box.
The clutch box, it's not just the rest, it's the clutch DIs.
Yes, of course. The Mario Kart DIs too.
Yeah.
He's got them. You can see the pace slowed back down. Zain actually comes in kind of aggressively there. HBox has stage. Zain just freaking out a little bit. So you can see this game not so bad for HBox. You can see I think Zain's still feeling the effects of probably some of earlier in the match here too.
One thing I do like about matches like this is I feel like because they're a little slower, like the pace is slower. Is that being out of position, like it shows up in different ways. It's like because Zain's out of position, it's like he has to figure his way down, and it doesn't necessarily lead to like a big hit, but he ends up getting grabbed eventually because the position's so bad.
And you got to remember, HBox was kind of flailing at him before then too. So Zain had to just stay in bad position a long time. Like HBox just up aired when it couldn't have possibly hit him like twice, just because he's like, please. And Zain still it's like, oh, I have to respect this because this position just sucks. And if I get hit, I'm in an edge guard spot, and if I DI bad, then I have to use my double jump early, and then I just die. So but you're right. This matchup is very positional, and I think it's good to point that out.
Yeah. Okay.
Big grab.
His edge guard, they have not worked out very well. He just hasn't been able to get enough, I think, clean kills.
That one would have been a little harder to do. I think Zain hasn't shown
that was a tough one. Yeah, that wasn't fair, but I'm just thinking in general. It's just he hasn't had enough. Let's see. The fair?
Yep. He did the fair, just not the one we were talking about.
Yeah. Play the clock. Play the clock.
Yeah.
Play the clock, baby. Play the clock. I'm not mad.
80%, not a lead.
Thank you, Andy, for the 59 months. Let's get it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, 800 TCC for the Prime.
Okay, yeah, get your primes off. I don't want to slow you, and your Patreon. If you need to plug your Patreon. Yo, thank you, Enemy. I appreciate you, dog.
Yeah. I just figured if we're gonna shout them out, might as well do it together.
Yeah.
And that was really good weave by HBox going around Zane's aerials there. But yeah, this is again no jump, not much you can do. And this is what HBox could do to deal with invincibility. He could just fly, and that's pretty clutch. But now he doesn't have a lot of jumps, so we're gonna see some pound.
Yeah.
So now we're cornered Marth.
He's being super patient right now. He's like really.
I mean, Zain is too.
Yeah,
Zain not rushing in, and I can't believe that missed. By the way, I remember watching that, and I was like, that looked like that hit to me too.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough, bro.
So, yeah, but up tilt rest, not something HBox goes for a lot against Marth.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not his thing.
And I think HBox actually should have had that grab. I think he turned around though, which was weird. So yeah, he had some really good opportunities, and you kind of just yeeted him. Maybe I'm wrong about that. He landed a little later than I thought. Big damage. Marth above. A little awkward.
Oh!
And again,
force smash was coming. I thought he was gonna do it. I thought he was just gonna let it rip.
Well, I mean, I think maybe HBox is still worried about Zain dashing back a lot. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah. I thought he was. I was just surprised. I was just wrong.
Yeah, he wave dashed back, so I guess he could have reacted to it. That's a good point. He shielded, and Zain was in the air. So yeah, forward smash would have been a great choice. That's absolutely right. So HBox seems a little. Again, you can see the momentum change there. Like you saw, HBox had some good openings, and he played well in those positions. But then when he needed to pull the trigger, he was still just, kind of worried from before. And there's the falling fair.
Yeah, there we go.
Again, Zain went really low. That's the counter to it. So that's what we were talking. That's what I was talking about. There's our pound, classic HBox last stock. Not going for rest. I don't think he would have gotten that one, but also
I don't think he.
But also the other stock. Not in danger from dying from a pivot tipper here, so he could just go. Tried to go for a mix-up because he thought surely Zain will just fall under this fair I could do.
Mm-hmm.
Zain does the similar type of recovery.
Okay. Yeah. Oh!
There's our
roll. So did he roll? Not the roll.
Well, so I get.
You think that's okay? So you think that roll's okay?
So I understand why he did it.
Okay.
So you see that he actually, if you go frame by frame on that, I think it was the back air he did. So he comes down and so you can see he lands, and Zain's kind of close to him.
Let me go back.
Yeah. So I'll go through it as it happens. So stop right there.
So he bears, yeah.
So right there, Zain could come in. I mean, HBox can, of course, move away, but HBox doesn't recognize this position as it is. HBox sees Zain dashing away from him and being a little closer than this as he makes the decision. So he's like, well, this might miss, and if it misses, Zain can come in with grab, because this happens a lot. And so this is actually why HBox rolls so much. Because in this position, like, HBox could die from pivot tipper, which we'd see happen. But, so he's like, I really don't want that. That's the reason the roll and the spot dodge happened. And you saw the spot dodge rest happen early. But what did Zain do about that? I mean, Zain, he occasionally would grab HBox when it was, like, more guaranteed, he felt. But otherwise, he would just leave it alone and let HBox hang himself, which is what HBox did here. And so you can see, like, but when HBox spot dodged, Zain wasn't usually punishing it. Because he was maybe looking for the roll a little more, or HBox doesn't like doing spot dodge so much, because he was doing that against Zain for a while, and then what would happen is he felt like he'd still need to roll, because he's like, well, the Marth is still dash dancing near me, and I could just get raw forward smashed or grabbed or out of the air or something, so I don't really like this. But I think as Puff, you just have to kind of like, you have to just play on your former conditioning, and I think maybe he thought Zain would go for the win or something right there. So there's a lot of things that there's different decision making on your last stock.
Yeah, that's fair. And to your point, it's easy to look at it here. He's more so doing out of like he's afraid of this position, and he reacted of like what he's afraid could happen, and so I get why he rolled.
Yeah,
it's really easy to look here when you're not on your last stock to say why would you do that. But no, I can see why he would. This position feels scary, especially when it's in real time.
And let's remember too that this was something that he was getting punished for a lot. Like this position as Puff, like Bear actually has a decent amount of landing lag, which is why usually you want to auto cancel it as Puff or fade away when you do it. HBox drifted in. So like if he doesn't do a roll or spot dodge or crouch or something, he's basically saying Zain is not going to grab me right here. He's just like, Zain's just not going to grab and I have time to do something else. And like he doesn't know if Zain's gonna go for that or not. And so he's just, I think Zain will do it. I think Zain will go for it. Even though it got, and so this is the kind of the thing is like, Zain played the way he played, pretty much the whole set. And he was like, oh, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
And so HBox thought that Zain would clutch box, and Zain just didn't. He just waited, and then HBox, it's so. But like you could see that play out from the whole set, like build to this moment. And if HBox was doing the dash attack that I was talking about before, or the wave dash back a little more, maybe Zain would have gone for the grab right here. And then HBox's roll would have been good. It might not have led to a rest or anything, but it let him dodge Zain. So there's a lot about Puff landing on the ground and that transition state between air, where you can't really do a lot to Puff, to ground, where you can do a lot, but Puff still has a chance to make a decision. That's really deep. And I think like this position and how important it is matters a lot, but you have to look at it in connection with all the other times that happened too, and you can kind of see a pattern that resulted in this being a little more likely, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
You got to remember, Zain was at 100% last stock. Like it's not like, even though there was a pattern of this, like HBox was still making some important adaptations and still was keeping Zain kind of off his game in some ways for a lot of this. So yeah, he made that mistake, but there are a lot of other things that he changed up and did well. So and he even started doing that edge guard.
He had a good game. He had a good game, I think, overall in this one. He was leading a lot of it. He played well this game, I thought. His games 3 and was it 2 were not strong, but this was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, I think FD games for HBox, at least right now in the non-clutch box era, there often are a lot of the wash, but yeah. I feel like HBox is just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like, all right, we'll just go somewhere where I can go back home, and it's fine.
Well,
do you have any closing thoughts on? Oh, look how beautiful! That's the broken dash grab. He grabbed behind him. Crazy.
He's like, oh yeah, he knew. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I think I like what you said just about the landing thing, about how Puff's vulnerable in that situation after the landing. I don't think I would have paid as much attention to that. Yeah, and just I think Hungrybox he's got his edge guard flowchart has to get a little better. But also I liked his mix-ups the last game. Like I thought they were good. I think he just mixed more in something like this, like being grounded and the wave dashes. I thought that stuff was good. I think he needs to just keep giving Zain more looks. I think sometimes his game was a little stale sometimes. Yeah. But at the end I thought he gave him a lot of different looks, and you saw he just got way more hits. He's got a lot more. He had just way more of this, like, I don't know, just it was a lot cleaner that game.
I also say you can play a lot more of positional games and partial stage takes and everything like that on Dreamland. If you try doing this on Fountain, if you're Marth, for example, and you're in the middle of the stage and you dash back once, you're basically cornered.
Yeah.
So it's very different. So HBox may have been taking time to adjust to the fact that he was on this larger stage. Now, of course, he often makes this adjustment faster, but I think it's worth pointing out that there can still be time adjustment for even top level players here. So I think it's worth mentioning how much stage can impact how we can kind of see these things play out.
Yeah. That was good. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate it. It was good. That was fun.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I hope you and your chat enjoy it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So I feel like I don't need to plug you. Everyone who's in my chat knows who you are. So I think you're good. They know about your Patreon. They know about they know about the Patreon. I didn't know about the Patreon. I'm glad I know.
Yeah, I try not to, I don't know, man. I don't want to be those people that tweets it all the time or whatever. But for my chat, if one of my mods or people in chat would please put Phil's stream in here, that'd be awesome. Maybe his Twitter too. Do you Phil's me? You know, great guy. Carried a lot of the scene with commentary, and also just, you know, he's streaming now. I'm not sure what else you're up to. Apologies for that, but I'm sure whatever it is dope.
Yeah, we're chilling. You know, just trying to stream more. So that's the wave right now. But I want to say thank you for kicking it. I appreciate you, and you know, hopefully we'll do it again in the future sometime.
Yeah, man. I mean, you hit me up, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I haven't done a collab in a minute. Sounds fun.
Yeah. You know, we'll do another collab soon, all right? Oh, actually, we should, because I got Dead by Daylight, and I've been.
Oh snap, bro!
So
don't tell me that.
Yeah,
I've been fiending.
Dead by Daylight sometime.
I've been fiending, man.
Okay, we'll set that up. We'll set some Dead by Daylight.
We'll talk. All
right, then. You have a good stream. All right. Take care.
Hey, have a good one, man. Yeah, Phil is a legend.